And this is top 8. If there are going to be players who can make these decisions and find their way through, it's definitely those in top 8. And to highlight even further, people like Mr. R and Tweek are definitely players who could find that without question. So I would love to see the revisions and choices, along with the character picks we're going to see walking in here.
I'm glad you pointed that out because I was just trying to think to myself, does Tweek actually go Wolf or does he switch it up? Because as we saw in the last, well, actually not in that last set, but a big thing that Wolf is going to have a problem with is consistently living. Sure, Tweek has good routes, but in doubles, you have 2 bodies flying at you. And both Lucina and Palutena are very, very good at going and dealing with that edge guard.
And those monstrous disjointed hitboxes make nothing fun for Wolf trying to get his way navigating around 2 separate enemies.
Exactly, and when you already have, you know, a relatively worse recovery with Mr. R's picks between Chrom and Roy. That is also another thing to think about. Differences, though, Mr. R's routes have been very, very solid, and his air dodge usage has been very, very good. He's been able to go a little bit higher and a little bit safer than where Tweek has gone so far. If you can make the adjustment, then absolutely, like, stick it out with the Wolf. But I'm not sure if we're going to see that pick considering the opposite team.
And getting a little statistical here to go back to the previous sets we ended up seeing, characters with the rougher recoveries, such as Olimar, such as Wolf, have statistically not shown up thus far in top 8. We have seen the picks go on. We've seen people try to do their best with it, but I don't think a single W has really come across with those characters on screen for a given team. So, yet again, shout-outs to the doubles format and really locking down the fact that if you aren't a character able to get yourself back on the stream, you're going to need to see a hell of a lot more. But that being said, we're going to see some picks right now.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there was like a off. Nah, I doubt it. I was thinking maybe that they might have had like a blind pick thing because of the fact that Odyssey plays Fox. But at the same time, Tweek was completely willing and able to go Y.Link against Light, so I'm sure that he did not care about the fact that if he happened to pick first, he would switch off to Palutena and maybe go Fox. But this is definitely a very good idea from them. I like the fact that they didn't go Wolf, saves them from those give potential we were just talking about before.
And honestly, I thought this team performed actually very well the last time we saw it, without question. They really ended up having the right thing going. I just don't know if they had enough games to actually make the adaptations needed to close out. Yeah,
I think overall the performance was looking much cleaner when it came to the Y.Link and the Chrom versus the other team comps they did. And you already see Mr. R is continuing to play with that momentum he had in the last one. He started seeking blood, he started finding his openings, and he has been consistently the stock taker so far.
And doing a great job of being the one to really just catch someone sleeping while getting some confirms and closing out a stock. You know, you have to be so careful of that in doubles. You could be on your merry way, sitting in a 1v1. Lo and behold, you have a little bit too much percent. You got to keep an eye out on where that teammate is because that stock will go flying real quick.
Exactly. Any given time where you try to get a little bit too lax with your recovery there, that's yet again another recovery that went pretty early for Tweek. I'm not sure what's going on, but he's gotta clean that up. But luckily for them, Mr. R is still cleaning up all these stocks. He took out yet another one on Hackoru.
And oh, we almost saw some airplanes as Tweek was trying to show Lucina the door.
Hey, you know what? If you have a stock lead too, you can go for those occasional suicide up B attempts. It's like, hey, look, if you go down at like 30 because I caught you at the ledge sleeping, we have the lead here.
Absolutely. And as of right now, seeing Mr. R finally have his first stock shaved off by Odyssey. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done on blue team side.
And actually, that was a very smart move on the red team. You saw that Odyssey was starting to get some, like he was finding his footing against Mr. R. Immediately they switched. It's like, all right, tag out your Ray. You go get the Fox, I'm gonna go get Hackoru. And it has worked out so far. And now Hack being at the right side, they can double team Odyssey. The back air out of shield is going to take that stock yet again, too. Odyssey looking at a very large deficit here. Regardless of the fact that the shared stocks can come in, he's at 134%.
And Chrom putting in so much work for Mr. R as of right now, but unfortunately that's going to be a little bit rough as that recovery gets red and that stock gets shaved clear off. We're getting a little bit closer to a one-stock match.
And that's what we were talking about at the very beginning. You need to deal with these bad recoveries. You can't let them come back for free. Hack finally going off stage and catching Mr. R at the low portion of Ether where he couldn't do anything about it. Mr. R keeping him trapped at the ledge. Hack running in just to break up the situation. Nair's got a hit. It's not going to hit, but it still allowed Odyssey to get off.
Oh, and a very rare mistake for Mr. R there as he shaves the stock off Tweek inadvertently.
Yeah, accidentally hitting through shield, but luckily for them, they were able to get rid of the stock. No volley coming in there from the back air. But
and man, goodness great, I really hope that there isn't a loss here due to that because that was just such a simple mistake to make.
And you know what? Doesn't matter because the moment he committed to that side B, I think that's why Hackoru delayed the side B a little bit. He was trying to get Mr. R to pull in early. No. The last time, as soon as you're done with the end of Dancing Blade, a lot of end lag, ran up, punished it immediately.
Man, there was a heartbeat skip right there, though. That was definitely a scary moment as that just came out of nowhere. That was such a momentum break. So very happy to see it that he still closed that out. You know, easy to come out of winner's side a little shook after taking a hard loss like that. So for them to keep such composure and make sure to close out that game despite a rough hit like that, more power to them.
Exactly, you know, and there was a couple points in there where it seemed like the blue team was starting to find their footing, especially with the SD that came in for Tweek. It's like, all right, maybe we have a shot. This is our opportunity. We need to go and take it. But the red team, because of the fact that Mr. R has really found his footing so far in this double stop 8, has not allowed him to get too many hard punishes, and now B, because of the armor frames, it's actually going to still allow him to put on that big damage.
And I've really enjoyed Mr. R opting for that a couple times now, especially at low percents, just due to the fact that it's so tried and true. It's like, what are you going to do about this?
It's 26%. Yeah. You better be using that.
Can you break the super armor? I don't think so. I'm hitting your teammate. Do something about it.
Rack on as much big damage as possible. No worry, opportunities are free. And you saw Hack that time. He actually allowed it, like, well, not so much allowed it to happen. He was more reserved. It's like, wait, can I even do anything about this, or do I wait for him to come back down and punish? But you even get to because Tweek kept him safe.
Absolutely, and seeing a lot more stage control from Red Team right now, as Red Team is really starting to run away with this lead.
And also Tweek being forced back off stage yet again. Hackoru couldn't commit to an edge guard because he was trying to live himself. And I like the fact he's throwing out those down airs to get back to center stage. Like, you know what? Respect me a little bit. I don't want you to come after me. And Tweek needs to consistently stay alive. He's stuck at the ledge again. You don't want to give up a free stock.
A lot of time spent recovering from Tweek right now. It has definitely seemed like a hard-fought battle trying to run this Y.Link in this battle scenario.
And Odyssey looking like he's starting to get a little bit more control of his footing too. Just playing the dancing game around Mr. R, able to get that back air at the side. Last thing you want is Fox playing the footsie game on the ground and coming out on top. Big scramble going on here on the left-hand side. Nobody really able to get anything big out of it. Mr. R is trying to keep Hackoru over to the left so Tweek can go for an edge guard attempt, and he's actually going to come out on top. Even though he went for that down air, he clipped Odyssey just far enough. He wasn't able to make it back.
And there was absolute dominance in those two 1v1s that were going on. Red Team absolutely just crushed both situations. Tweek covering the off stage, Mr. R crushing the on stage. These guys are really looking to come into form right now.
And we got parries galore, and he was reading the fact he's going to the left with that F smash, but luckily he did not get hit by that. Was Odyssey. He's going to walk away, potentially could have been killed by early stock. And Tweek going to close that stock out as well, looking at a large deficit yet again for the green team.
And we're going to need to start breaking out visors right now because the power levels are skyrocketing as we're watching this.
Yeah, it definitely seems like Tweek is starting to get an adjustment to what he wanted. And he's going to throw out that long lingering hitbox with that up B to continue to put on that pressure at the ledge. The counter finally going to get a stock off of Mr. R, but what cost? They are first at the ledge yet again. And now Odyssey also at 128. It's a very bad spot for him.
Really going to have to keep those recoveries on fleek right now if he wants to get anywhere with this because he does not have the percent to start messing around.
No, and he's going to read the jump up. You know, a big thing that Foxes want, especially at the corner. They want to jump, they want an air, they want to get out of there. And the fact that he's going to die again, that is huge. Now, Hackoru hasn't shown that he's been able to deal with Mr. R so far yet, but if he can get rid of a potential early stock on him, then, you know, force a 1v1, might be looking at a potential comeback, but that's not the way to do it.
Oh, man, and Tweek just threw it the hell down right there. That was ending in an emphatic fashion.
Yeah, Tweek remembering, he's like, you know what, I got the sauce.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give it to you.
Yeah.
I want to make sure you remember that I got the style, and that was a beautiful combo to close that out at the end. Though.
Absolutely. He kicked over the whole jug of sauce with that one. Was like, my bad, I got sauce on it. Like.
So going into this next game here, what do you think they need to do? Well, for one, we're seeing the swap to Palu, but what do you think they need to do in order to adjust and stop the pressure that Tweek and Mr. R have been able to put on?
I think they need to identify their matchups a little bit better as of right now. We've seen Mr. R do an unbelievable job. They paid a lot of attention to Tweek. Tweek's spending a lot of time off stage. They are really focusing a lot on Tweek, but Mr. R is the one who's stock tanking and closing out so many early stocks.
Exactly.
So I think they need to start reanalyzing which players they're going after and possibly just look for a little bit more team orientation in the way they're going about this.
I agree. You know, Tweek can play right now. You see, he's playing out of range. He's like, all right, I'm going to throw out the projectiles right where it's needed. You always have to respect me. And it's allowed Mr. R to play very confident in his movement and go for what he wants. Because of that, they've been giving him a lot of respect. They have to double team Mr. R and stop this momentum. or just let Tweek continue to give up these early stocks.
And definitely some hard calls to make there. As you know, unfortunately, simple SDs are easy to make in Ultimate, more so than ever, as we've seen. Air dodges off stage, missed inputs. This game is not courteous with the off stage, but in top 8, there is no room for comments like that. It is just ruthless and truthful. If you are not making your recoveries, you are going to put your team stock down, and we see blue team starting to look pretty fresh.
Yeah, very imperative of the blue team as well. They haven't been SDing, but the last thing you want to do is give up any quick early stocks that potentially could lead to problems because you're currently down 2 games. And I like the commitment from Hack. He was trying really hard to get the jump, but the single hit in neutral is going to confirm it to up smash. And Odyssey also going to miss the tech. And okay, he still had his jump. He's going to be able to make it back.
Going to need to make it back right now because another stock loss is going to put red team right back in the running.
And that parry to F tilt too, you can just see the defense from Mr. R has just been absolutely immaculate so far. And also holding his shield just long enough, not giving it up to Odyssey. Going to force Odyssey to stay stuck at the ledge. Both of them are stuck over there. What's the get-up option? Tweek is doing a good job of keeping them buried in the corner. And Mr. R as well, just keeping the Hackoru boxed out.
And Mr. R right now really just out in these streets as we see that first stock finally peeling off him, but he has really been looking so clean throughout his matches with Tweek in this set right now. You know, prior to this, we had seen a lot of people leaving the player off to the side and leaving a 2v1 to go against the teammate. Mr. R has not let it happen as we see him close out another stock there. He's looking for that 2v1.
I like the fact that Odyssey finally decided to let the explosive flame fly. A lot of times he's been letting them recover high, and you know, you want to go out there for a nair, you want to go out there for an up air, but just put the side B out there just in case. And Tweek fall asleep on it a little bit, gonna get them a stock, and actually, now we have a dead even game.
And it is crazy to see as of right now because, yet again, had Tweek not thrown away a stock so early, it may not be so even at all. So we're going to see if Tweek's mistake is going to end up resulting in some hard punishment for his team. It looks like it right now, my friend. It really does.
You know, I get it. Like, his combo game is really strong with the Y.Link, and it's been doing good. Luckily, he's been able to rack up damage and allow Mr. R to play the way he wants. But again, that's still free real estate. When you're giving up cash money for no reason because they just got an opportunity to go jump at you and you ended up SDing, that's huge. And it's imperative on the blue team to potentially take out this Mr. R stock so they get a 2v1 on Tweek.
And man,
oh, he's going to get the counter. He's going to force Tweek off stage. I don't think he has a jump to make it back, and no bomb either. Now they finally get the 2v1 for Mr. R they were looking for. And he's going to air dodge right back in the game, and they're going to get themselves on the board.
And you know what? Sometimes the phrase, we take those, comes in the best fashion possible. Because if you're a blue team and you need to build momentum, even if Tweek's making these mistakes and they're going to get discredited or whatever it may be, you take that. You take that momentum because this is top 8. If you take that W, you shift everything. So while there's a lot of changes that need to be made from Tweek's side as far as some simple mistakes go, I think this gives a lot of momentum to both Odyssey and Hackoru.
Again, you know, at this point of competition, it's like, look, that sucked that you SD'd, but I'm moving on. So it's like, I'm gonna. At the end of the day, you got to take that. I know it really does suck seeing Tweek, you know, go down there early. You don't want to see that. You want to see him play an optimal play. But blue team has to take that when they can. They could not seal out a lot of early stocks, or at least close out endgame stocks. But if he's going to give them up, that allows you opportunity to go put pressure on Mr. R, who has to play that much more perfect.
And 1-1 is 1-1. You know, that's just what it is. You guys move on, and you keep getting another chance to keep playing out these. So, oh, 2-1.
Yeah, 2-1.
2-1. Sorry about that.
That's all good. And the blue team finally able to get themselves on the board and running it right back to PS2. 100% agree. Everything about the stage fantastic for all characters on the stage. And you see Odyssey, look at that. He's actually ledge trapping Mr. R much better now. I think he's starting to get a little bit more of a read on what he needs to do about this edge guard. Trying to potentially catch him on his jump, but Mr. R going to take the right route and still take on big damage, but Tweek also looking much better and consistently just pressuring Hack right now.
Yeah, and I was going to say, Odyssey and Tweek are the ones that are sticking out very hard right now. They walked into this game looking super crispy, so we're going to see exactly how far they can push this advantage because, as I say that, Tweek is out in these streets.
I think he sniped his jump at the perfect time there, too. He was able to get that nair and get that kill. You know, he wasn't able to seal it on center stage, but, you know, regardless of the fact he's been SDing, Tweek is still, well, never mind. You don't get the ST that time. Odyssey's going to go down there and get it himself.
And Tweek and Odyssey just showing off against one another right now as we see them closing out stocks like hot knives through butter.
And Odyssey going off and getting the jump from Mr. R, too. Mr. R has been recovering relatively for free for the most part. And never mind, we're going to reciprocate with our own. Unfortunately, going to go down with a teleport on the side. And red team, like we just said before, they will take those.
They're going to take those, most certainly. And it is becoming a match where you could tell it is getting a little hectic right now. These players are trying to keep up, but there is a lot of offstage being played.
Tying the 77% to that upper at the top, that is huge. Not having to worry about the defense from Mr. R. He's been doing so good of holding his stocks to like 150 plus. That is a big kill on Odyssey there.
And really, I have to remark on this. As of right now, despite all the matches we've seen in top 8, the hecticness in this game specifically right now seems at an all-time high. It seems like these players are really fighting just to get their feet on the floor and take advantage. So I don't think there's any clear-cut winner right now.
Yeah, like kind of indicative of that last stock that Mr. R got on Hack. He just ran up and waited a half a second throughout F smash because he knew Hackoru he's in a fearful position right now. It's like he wants to act. He doesn't want to get grabbed, and that's going to cause him to get hit by that. But Tweek also kind of going for quite a few of these grabs, and he's getting punished more and more and more as he whips them. And it's huge that they need to punish that every single time. No punish there as well. You can't let those situations go.
You absolutely cannot, especially in a match that's this close right now. You're on game set right now, game point, so this is going to be super important for them to keep up.
Yeah, and now Mr. R has to worry about that same position at the ledge. If he goes on the right, it's going to be a yeet, and that's going to be, doesn't even need it. The explosive flame going to come in, and look at this, blue team yet again. It seems like they've gotten a beat on what they need to do in this matchup.
And, this is exactly what we spoke about with that momentum and that presence of mind. They really were able to take those and keep moving forward as Red Team is starting to look like they're maybe looking a little questionable.
But that's also really bad. You do not want to be dropping the situations where you can rack up damage. Tweek isn't going to die, but you need to rack up as much damage as possible. And when you're up this stock, just go for it. Dig as deep as you can, and you saw, he's like, look, you got one way and one way to go only, and that way has to go through mine there. And if we trade, you're dying anyways. I don't care.
Now, as we spoke about earlier on, Tweek and Odyssey were the ones that came out looking very strong in that game. But there was only one team that came out of that game, and that was the team that Odyssey was on. Odyssey closed out that last stock as well. We had a momentum shift. We have Odyssey looking super crisp. Is this the moment where blue team brings it back and really starts to find their jets?
I was just about to say, I think we're going to see a switch to the Roy purely because of the edge guards. I didn't see the Wario, but I heavily approve of this Wario because he has not pulled it out at all so far in the top 8. The Wolf did not work.
Nope.
The Lucina did not work. Go with the Wario, change it up, and having the ability to play and dance around shield is huge because you saw that the on-shield defense from the blue team was much better. They weren't scared. You got Wario dancing around you, that's a much different story.
And on top of that, Tweek has been playing a very offstage-oriented game. He has been heavy on the offstage game, and if there is a character who can really throw down offstage, I don't know if it could be anyone besides Wario with the way Tweek's play shows.
Yeah, and a big thing as well is having the great equalizer. Being able to throw into Waft, even at half charge, if Mr. R sets him up perfectly, that is some early kills. That's very equivalent of having a Jigglypuff with Rust on your team.
And that throws back to old Brawl knowledge for me. Waft is an unbelievable tool in doubles. You really want to talk about a game changer and something that can push the advantage, that is Waft.
Especially with the longevity that goes on the doubles too, you already get enough more, you got a lot more time regularly with 3 stocks.
Yep.
You're going to be playing way more Wafts because of the fact that these matches are going to go much longer. Doesn't get the back air to potentially seal out the stock on Odyssey. The back air very strong. I like the way Mr. R is playing too. He's just playing with a lot more confidence, I think, with this Roar right now. It's like, all right, I don't need to get the long hits that I was doing before with the Chrom, but I'm able to box in and out and get these sweet spot kills potentially where I need it. But Red Team doing a good job holding their defense, yeeting, but the dash attack not going to get the kill. And that hitbox from forward smash not going to get the explosion on the bike either.
Now, my biggest worry is that this change over to Roy is going to take away some of Mr. R's kill potential. And that kill potential was really what gave them such strong advantage. Chrom with some of those unrealistically heavy hits.
And it was right there. Right as you said it, it was proven point. The fact that he hit him with the sour spot on that back air instead of, if that was Chrom, it would have killed. I do agree with the swap because of the edge guards, but that is something they're going to have to pay attention to, the potential early stock losses that they're not getting with Roy. But at the same time, the moment that Mr. R seals out of stock at like 50% with side B, it makes up for it.
Yep, this is very true. But yet again, my man Odyssey is throwing down so hard. He is really sitting out here, not only stock tanking, but for 2 straight games has been looking like an absolute champ. So Odyssey might be MVP for his team right now.
I mean, if they make this run back, this 3-0 reversal, it is definitely going to be Odyssey that they need to praise. And he's using more explosive flames at perfect range, especially against Mr. R. Mr. R's been landing in so many of them. And the Waft's going to send to the right instead of to the left. Ooh. That is a huge loss for potential kill potential for Tweek there.
And very uncharacteristic.
Yeah, usually you see him always hit exactly where you want to go, and Hackoru's going to take that in stride. Now Hackoru forcing Mr. R at the ledge, trying to establish some pressure, and he just did the single hit jab to bait out the jump so he could get that F smash.
Blue team looking fierce right now. This is unreal. Yeah, I mean, we have seen nothing in sets besides Game 5 except for one straight up 3-0. So to see that this Game 5 is going in this way and this sweep possibly being online is getting very exciting.
Exactly. You know, just the fact that we've been seeing so many great adjustments coming in from the blue team after facing such deficits, especially in the first 2 games. But the fact that Odyssey, once he got the momentum, you feed off of that as a teammate. And now we're seeing potentially that coming in from Tweek. It looks like he's starting to get the combo game he wants, but he has to seal out the stock on Hackoru so they can get themselves back into this game.
Absolutely, and at this point, already having blown the first waft, you could only be talking about possibly the option of 1 to 2 more in this set, and that's going to be something that he has to fight to get to.
Yeah, and the last thing you want to do is have that resource go to waste, especially if Mr. R is forced to have to do a share stock. You're taking away more waft potential, and he's going to get the F tilt at the ledge, and that's going to be able to sell the stock, but Mr. R now has no more share stock potential and Tweek down to his last stock.
And just like that, as we see, blue team really running with this right now. It is looking like red team is going to have to make quite a bit. Mr. R, though, playing safe and keeping himself center stage.
And again, like you said before, the telltale consistent sign that we've seen is that Odyssey has been refusing to die. And he's, again, getting multiple techs. Luckily for him, he gets sent only slightly away with that nair. Doesn't get sent too far. And just resetting the center stage to get out of that situation. And he forced the air dodge to Mr. R. Mr. R's going to die. And now Tweek down to a 2v1, potentially a 3-0 comeback.
And Odyssey putting the team on his back right now as he has made such key plays throughout this entire set.
And that right there, easy volley throwing into that nair. And now that he's at 74%, we could be, oh, he catches him at the top end, but they still have a share stock. Here's the scary part though. With Odyssey at 134 and taking a hit from his teammate, he needs to play back.
Now,
while this has to get that throw into that up smash.
While this is scary, though, this is Tweek's Wario. This is the exact character that stuck into MK Leo. You cannot take a nap at the wheel and say you're good to go. He is going to run across stage and fight both of you like it is 2 1v1s.
And you see Tweek, he's headhunting for Odyssey right now. He knows this is where he needs to seal out the deal. But he doesn't go for the up smash.
Oh, goodness, and that's a huge misplay right there as we're going to end up seeing,
He lost the bike.
Yes.
He lost the bike on the fair. I was confused for a second, too. I was like, wait, what happened? Okay, I see now.
That despawn timer, though, definitely going to give you a hard time. So just like that, Tweek and Mr. R finding a very hard trip through top 8 as they find themselves...
Definitely not what the projected bracket would have suggested for sure. But you know what? I am always a fan of seeing people who are on the come up or people who have put in work to try and show that they can contest with the best and they get those upsets. I know that they got to be feeling really good about that right now.
They have to be feeling good about that right now. They put on an absolute clinic of a show, and, you know, honestly, watching Odyssey and Hackoru come back like that, we spoke about it, momentum shifts. That's exactly what I highlighted. I said, we take those, not always the most hype, but look what it led to, the most hype. So sometimes we take those. You can't give away games, man. You can never give away games.
Yeah, speaking of we take those, by the way, I played a sub really quick because we couldn't find a certain somebody, and he's coming back up right now. So we will be swapping out. Thank you guys for allowing me to hop onto the stream to be able to do half of Doubles Top 4.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Keep up the good work, my friend.
Thank you so much, and you will be seeing Keitaro coming onto the mic in a minute. And if you happen to join me, go ahead, throw me a follow, but if not, throw a follow to Nairo. And of course, you have the sub ability, throw that to him too. And we will be continuing in Doubles Top 8. Don't go anywhere.